All right, so this is today's Daily Gravity number 20. Now, I've got my buddy Brandon here. He's been with me the last couple days. I just been showing him some behind the scenes stuff, which I hope to get to show you here soon. But I asked him what he wants to know more about, and he said the email thing is kind of what gives him trouble. So, what I'm going to initially talk about, now we're going to go over here on the board here, but can they see it real good? Okay. When somebody opts in, going from page 1 to 2, so they're coming in from the traffic. They come in here and maybe you're saying, hey, let me show you how to do X. You can keep it that simple. If somebody wants to know how to do something, just show them how to do something. If you're doing weightlifting or you're teaching fishing or carpentry or mindset, just be like, I'm going to show you in this video 4 tips to help you with your mindset. And then those 4 bullet points would be giving them like almost there, but don't give them the whole thing. They got to be curious about it. So, okay. Somebody comes in from your traffic, maybe it's a TikTok. They hit the page, they like what they see, they opt in, they go into the email list here, and then these emails start. Okay? So the thing about the emails, how I want you to think about it, is think about like you're having a conversation. Okay? Here, go over there. So let's imagine this person comes up to you and they're kind of like wanting to know something, right? And here's you. You're the wizard. We'll give you a little wizard hat. Okay? So you're this wizard that knows this thing. You're talking to this person. And they're like, man, how do you do this thing? Because that's kind of how it's going with the landing page. They're like, oh, how do I do this thing? This is the question they have. They already have the interest of the thing. So just think about that first email that goes out. All right? Now imagine this guy comes up to you and the first thing he asks, like, so how does this email thing work? Okay, so by them doing that, you would essentially be talking to them in that VSL. Well, if they don't buy from the VSL right away, which is the video on page 2, they are going to get followed up with. Well, if the VSL was about, emails, let's say how to do email marketing. This first email, you want to think about it like, okay, they came in, they asked me about it, I shared it with them, and they still got questions. So in this first email, it's like, what's the first thing I would say in that conversation? What would I say to them? Well, listen, if you're trying to figure out emails, here's how the whole email process goes. And you give them a little bit of the understanding of emails. Now, one of the things I always say is your product is the source of everything, right? So when you're doing these emails, nothing that you talk about or anything that you talk about will be anything outside of what is in this right here. So I talk about email marketing in step 7. Okay, out of the 9 steps, that's what I talk about it there. So if I take step 7 here, we're going to pluck out step 7, and then in step 7 we have a module, and in that module, or we have 3 modules in step 7, right? If you want to get through module 1, there's 3 actions. If you want to get through the second module in 7, there's 3, right? Remember the 3 actions? So in step 7, there's 3 modules. If I'm using step 7 as my lead magnet on my landing page, so here's my funnel. Let's say that my funnel is about step 7 because that's something that they really want to know a lot about. What do you think all these emails are going to be? They're going to be this right here. Does that make sense? So just think about when they go into module 1, they don't know. When they get done with module 1, they know. If in pillar 7, if I have 3 modules and each module has 3 actions, 3, 6, 9, right? Guess how many emails you're going to have? 9. You're going to just take each email and be like, well, the first thing that we do with email marketing, and you're going to teach them this right here. You don't have to go all the way into it. Just tell them what you do, not necessarily how you do it. Okay, so that email goes out, right? You follow me so far? Is this making sense? The first email goes out. And it's talking about this right here. We wait 1 day, and then it asks the question, did they buy? Yes or no? If they did, we stop sending emails. If no, we send email number 2. So email 1, email 2. What's email 2 going to be about? Right here. Is that making sense? Do you see what I'm talking about? So when you go to pick your lead magnet, you're just taking your product here and you're saying, what is the juiciest step inside of my product? Well, I know for me, it's step 8. I got 7 and 8 backwards here, for the love of Jesus. Okay? I know that for mine, it is step 7, step 6, step 3, and step 4. Okay? Because 4, we're talking about lead magnets. 3, we're talking about how to create the product. 6, we're talking about funnels. 7, we're talking about content marketing or marketing. And 8, we're talking about emails. Okay? This should all be 8. Let me get you even more confused, right? So, but you follow what I'm saying. Each one of these pillars, okay? Each one of these pillars that you're building out each pillar has 3 modules. So pillar, module, module. Each module has 3 actions. If you're really gangster and you want to do email marketing like a complete boss, when somebody opts in, you make the VSL about your entire product. And then these emails that go out, there could be 81 emails. Okay? Because you've got 9 pillars, and each pillar has 9 action steps in it. Does that make sense? So you could have 81 emails follow up, and you can literally, in your emails, each email, are you starting to see the pattern? Each email can cover all 3 of these in each one of these modules. So email 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each email that goes out is covering each one of these action steps in each pillar. You get it? And you're just saying, the reason why we do this in module 1 in this first action step is because it solves this problem. Okay? And you can explain that in the email, and you can say, now listen, that's just one action out of the total 81 actions. Or that's just one step out of these 27 modules. Because there are 27 modules. Because there's 9 pillars that have 3 modules. Does that make sense? So when you go to do email, this is how you do it. When they opt in, you're having this conversation with them. It's like, well, the first conversation I had with them was about pillar 1, module 1, action 1. Had this conversation. What's the next conversation? Well, let's just keep showing them how to get from point A to point B. Their current situation, man, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I got it figured out. Okay? And you've got 81 actions in here. And you're just, each email is taking them one next step. And you know what will happen? They'll get about right here, and then this will happen. I promise you. Because they'll put it all together and they'll be like, I'm ready. And in each one of these emails, when you're talking to them, you're saying, now listen, this is just one piece out of this whole thing. If you want to get the rest of it, go over to my sales page and get started. And then you can get the whole thing, and you get 2 calls each week that are 2 hours each. Okay? Which reminds me, I got to get on our call. So I hope this daily gravity helped you. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and I'll see you on the weekly calls.